I'm often asked if I think rollerblading will ever be in the Olympics. That is a really tough question. I don't know if rollerblading ever will be an Olympic sport, but should rollerblading be an Olympic sport? Now that's a discussion we can sink our teeth into. Snowboarding has already made the leap from the alternative sports underground to the mainstream acceptance and approval that comes with being an Olympic sport. So there is a precedent for it. But do we as rollerbladers want to be an Olympic sport? This is an issue that speaks to the very heart of the struggle between self-expression and sport, between art versus athleticism. This is an issue for which I'm sure there'll be no shortage of opinions.
I don't really think rollerblading should be an Olympic sport. We kind of already have our own Olympics, the X Games, and I think Olympics is for more traditional sports, and they should leave it like that.
If snowboard is in it and all the other sport, why not like this ones, you know? Like skateboarding and rollerblading and all the extreme sports.
I don't think rollerblading should be an Olympic sport because when it's an Olympic sport, it would be accepted by everyone. And right now I like it because it's our own thing. Like it's ours, and no one can mess with it.
Well, in the prelims, all 46 skaters got to do their own thing. Each one came out, took 2 runs, and averaged those 2 scores together. Only the top 10 advanced to the final.
Hi, my name is Ezekiel Anderson. I'm one of the judges here, and I'm going to break down what the judges are looking for in the finals. We look at consistency, line, creativity, and difficulty. It's more of an overall impression that we're looking for. You have 2 runs. Best run counts towards your ranking in the finals.
Randy Marino always clowning around, but Blake Dennis in the prelims, no clowning out here.
No, Blake is all business. He's the reigning Gravity Games champion. And since then, he's gone from being a perennial contender, someone who always took a top 3 spot, to someone who knows how to finish. 540 over the Gator Gap. And the way Blake Dennis has got to the top of the rankings is by putting together the best lines with very difficult tricks. Fakie 270 into the backside Royale, linking these tricks. But the way he envisions his lines, the way he sees the street course is so unique. And then you mix that with his incredible vocabulary of tricks. He's such a talented skater, and he's very difficult to beat.
Super stylish all the time. When Blake skates, he's not afraid to go pretty big, but he's super tech as well.
As you say it, backside torque slide completely balanced all the way off the end of the coping box.
You guys are witnessing a killer ride.
Headed for the handrail backside fast slide, a different variation in the torque, but similar. Not able to balance it all the way out, you see him dropping both feet. So he ended up in a backside fakie, 270, soul grind to fakie. All right, watch the amount of control and balance that this trick takes. As he contorts his ankle, he's on the outside edge of that frame and balances it all the way off the end of the ledge.
Super stylish in both runs. Blake Dennis ends out on top, heading into the final. He leads a pretty stacked field, including, of course, perennial stunt favorites Carlos Pianowski and Jiren Grove. A couple rookies, Brian Aragon and Josh Obert. And, of course, Eito Yasutoko making his pro street debut.
We're here in Cincinnati. You're watching the ASA on ESPN. Stick around.
Welcome back to beautiful downtown Cincinnati, home of the Reds and the Bengals, and a beautiful new waterfront.
We're back in Sawyer Point. The ASA finals where only the best run counts. You know, in the context of this whole discussion about the Olympics, it's appropriate that our first rider up in the finals would be Mike Budnick. In the sport of rollerblading, one of the few true athletes who spends as much time training as skating.
Mike, you look a lot bigger than Justin and Shane in the middle.
He's huge. You know?
Well, the look of concentration on his face, getting ready to take a nice drop in. Mike's one of these guys that's been consistent in street and vert for probably about 4 years now on the Pro Tour, but his technical abilities definitely improved on street.
No doubt, showing it off with the topside mistrial down the handrail. And look at that, switching up from fish brain to soul. One of those was switch backslide on the sub box. Not too many guys hitting that thing. Mike really has worked on his street skating, and it has shown. He's been steadily climbing the rankings in the street circuit.
And legitimately, I think for a long time, a lot of sort of what you'd call true street skaters criticized Budnick for his style and also for his lack of technical ability. And he comes out now and legitimately really takes it home with some really tech tricks.
Yeah, this is a great line, and we've seen a lot of different tricks. He's showing off a good trick vocabulary. There's a frontside royale, but we've already seen porn stars, fish brains, mistrials. There's a fakie 720. That's one of his standards, but otherwise a very good run.
And no knocking a fakie 720 to finish things off.
Right, it's a good finish, but look at this, backslide up on the sub box, and that's a big drop back down to the bank.
And he's rewarded for it. An 88.50 sets a pretty high mark to start things off.
So we move on from one of the longtime veterans of street skating in the competition circuit to a rookie in his first pro finals contest, Brian Aragon out of Brighton, Colorado.
He was skating with a lot of confidence in the prelims. Check it out, 900 to get things started.
Hard to believe that was a 900. He rotates it so slow, but that's the way the guys are doing it now. Topside porn star, or sunny day across the ledge box.
Very unique style. Look at how he carries his arms when he skates. Kind of down in front of him, all relaxed.
I call that Texas style because Shane Scour really started that look, and a lot of kids from the skate park back in Texas, if I can plug Eisenberg's, really do skate like that, and Brian has spent a lot of time there.
Yeah, and who helped teach him how to skate street?
Randy Marino.
That's right, another guy here in the final.
And he'll be the first to tell you.
Well, definitely a well-thought-out line, up and over the spine, little wall ride, and boom, 540 back the other way.
Well, this is indicative of the new breed of skaters. They've got those spins, but they can also be just as technical on the handrails, and you've got to have that kind of combination.
And with time to spare, boom, switching it up to finish things off.
That's right, he went topside porn star, switching it to Soyal. Getting props from Jiren Grove. So we're going to take another look at this. Pay attention to his feet. Watch how he switches it mid-rail. He's going to jump up starting out sunny day. That's a topside porn star, and then switching it to Soyal and riding it out.
Well, the confidence pays off. 88.25 puts him in second, closely behind Budnick. Taking a look at some of the other runs here in the first round of the finals. Ian Brown out of Australia. This guy's like the ultimate wild card. He's got so much ability, just sometimes lacks some consistency.
Well, he doesn't have as much experience as some of the guys who've been on the tour for a bit longer, but you can see that he's got the potential. Just didn't work out in the first run.
76.75 puts him in third place. Now on to a guy who has a ton of experience. 4 years on the Pro Tour, 2 years at #1. It's Jiren Grove, a rock star who knows a lot about porn stars, as you'll see in this week's Trictionary, brought to you by 8-Legged Freaks.
Hey, this is Jiren Grove. This is Trictionary, Cincinnati style. You guys, anybody know what a porn star is? Porn star grind? You guys know what a porn star grind is?
No.
You guys want to learn?
Yeah.
You take one leg and you put it behind your head, and then you grind down the pole. A what?
A who?
Oh, you guys know what a porn star grind is? It's very simple. You just put one foot like this and the other one's like that. A porn star, you stick one foot like this and the other one's dragging like this. Here, give me your number. Just joking. Funny girls. Grinding on a rail like this. Huh? You do whatever you want, you know? Yeah, you guys give me 5. Yeah. Hey, what's up? It's been cool hanging out in Cincinnati, talking to other people out here. But I gotta go back to work. Catch y'all later.
So here we are with Jiren Grove's run. When you take a look at Jiren Grove, he's like the antithesis of what it is to be an Olympian.
Yeah, he's got that persona. They call him the monster, and that was earned by his go big, balls out style of skating. Couple beautiful tricks, but That fall on the sub box cost him. He ends out in 7th place with a 75 after the first round of competition, down near the bottom with Blake Dennis and Carlos Pianowski, surprisingly. The rookies, Aragon and Obert, doing really well, but they sit behind Mike Budnick.
After watching this past Winter Olympics and watching how well snowboarding did and how well the public received it and how well they all did, I mean, I really wished I was out there representing my sport in the same way, so I'd be stoked to see rollerblading become an Olympic sport.
Well, when we come back, it's round number 2, and everybody gets one chance to try to unseat Mike Budnick.
Rollerbladers compete, and the Olympics are the pinnacle of competition, so why wouldn't rollerbladers want to be in the Olympics? For that matter, one might wonder why any self-respecting sport wouldn't naturally aspire to the level of credibility and approval that comes with being in the Olympics. But what you have to factor in if you want to truly understand the rollerblader's dilemma is what must also be sacrificed. What you have to ask yourself is what would be the cost to the essence of rollerblading if it were ever to become an Olympic sport?
Yeah, because it would push the sport more. It'd get more acknowledgement. But no, because it might get too much acknowledgement, or too many companies would run it, and then it'd be just like a business instead of a sport, you know what I mean?
Olympic Games is most big and the most popular in the world. But I think Olympic Games is not good for me.
Well, taking it down to the street for round number 2. Here's a look at some of the runs.
A lot of great skating went down in the second round. Starting out with Randy Marino out of Plano, Texas. 540 inverted over the box, and then working the handrail as well with the balanced fast slide.
Hey, I know you're not a bird, but next time don't try to fly.
Now here's a guy you don't see in the finals of a street contest very often. He's new to the street course.
Doesn't look like he's new though, mixing it up with Sol de Soyal and then huge Liu Kang 360 over the launch box.
Once again, put your hands together for all the skaters.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
Marino getting his groove on the course and off.
All fun and game for these skaters. Jiren Grove, fakie on the huge sub box, fakie 180 roll in. And then 540 on the roll into the launch ramp and freestyle alley-oop fish break.
An improvement, but only a small one with a 78.25. Now here's Adam Kilgore.
Showing off some creativity as he rides the wall, kicking off of the railing.
Great line for Kilgore. And Brian Aragon, who sits in second.
There it is, alley-oop fish brain down the handrail and 900 over the launch box.
Another good run for him, but not good enough to improve.
Hardcore Brazil, Carlos Pianowski's always good for some stunts. There he goes on the far side of the box with the forward porn star. And then one of the few people actually utilized that parking block way up on top of the sub box.
Well, and despite that fall, that did bump him up to 3rd position, but everybody was chasing this guy, Budnick.
It's no wonder as he was flexing his new bag of tricks.
Mike Budnick going even higher with an 89.25, sets the high mark even further, but this guy, Josh Obert, hoping to take him. He's got the tech ability, that's for sure.
Well, we already saw Cameron Card win a contest this season with a very technical line. Josh Obert has a similar style. He's very good at putting together lines with a lot of technical tricks. You can see him already. He's linked so many tricks in a small amount of time, coming in fakie 360 into the kind grind.
Yeah, what a great line. This is like a Blake Dennis line, how he just spins into the rails without stopping.
It is very reminiscent of the kind of style that Blake Dennis skates with. And you'll notice with Josh Obert, something that's becoming very apparent is he has a lot of variations out of the fakie 360. He'll spin into a lot of different grinds, setting up with that fakie 360. Case in point, fakie 360, true spin, alley-oop Macchio. And then dark side fish brain.
Making it look easy, but not doing the traditional tricks at all out here on the street.
Well, he really does make it look easy, and it could almost be used as a mark against him because he's done so many incredibly difficult tricks like that one you just saw there, but he lands them all, and it makes it easy to forget just how hard they are.
What a great run for Josh Obert, the rookie not looking like one.
Watch this. He shuffles. That's actually not a grind. He's shuffling down the middle of the box, and then he switches to true spin alley Macchio.
Wow, tied for first place, Josh Obert. What a big improvement for him. When we come back, Blake Dennis hoping to redeem himself.
Nothing.
The ASA Pro Tour on ESPN has been brought to you by Corn Nuts, corn gone wrong, by Acclaim's aggressive inline. Now available on the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system rated T for teen. And by Eight-Legged Freaks, brought to you by Warner Brothers Pictures.
This is a species called the slightly larger chick. Let's go talk to him. How you doing, ladies?
Oh, we're great.
You guys having a good time out here at the competition today?
Yeah,
What do you think?
voice left.
What do you think of rollerbladers?
They're cool. Awesome.
So you guys like bikinis?
Oh, yeah.
Cool, because we're going to show this to everybody. It's gonna be
I
on
don't
ESPN.
care.
Word.
What's
All right, then.
So back on the street course, last chance for this guy, Ian Brown.
Well, and he really has put all of his eggs into one basket. He had a tough time in the first round falling down, so all the pressure is on Ian here in the second round. Since in the finals only one run counts, the better of those two runs. That's a pretty good start. Frontside Royale, 270, back into the bank, and then that drop sole transfer.
Yeah, but don't forget, this guy has won a professional competition before, and a good one at that. The World Team Challenge last year, he beat an elite field.
Well, and he's well on his way to earning another title if he can keep this up. That's a great run so far, putting in a lot of difficult tricks and really using the course very nicely. Fakie 270 backside Royale. And still charging around the course in his signature orange helmet.
Setting up back on the roll-in.
Right, looks like he's headed for the launch box, dropping in, trying to pick up that speed. And that launch box is different this time. There's no flat top.
Nice 540 over the launch. Setting up one more time for the rail. No.
Jumping up onto the ledge box, jumping into the shuffle down the bottom kink. And that is at time or after time, so it's not going to hurt his score. But look at these tricks. That wasn't even meant to be used as something to grind on. There's no angle iron or coping, but he pulls a sole all the way across. Good use of the course.
Creativity pays off. 90.75 makes him our current leader.
But we still have one skater left to go. The #1 seeded skater, Blake Dennis.
I'm not sure if I think that rollerblading should be in the Olympics. I don't know, like, maybe it could be good, maybe it'd be bad. Right now, I don't think it should be, but maybe in the future. I don't know, I just think our sports are pretty different to, like, Olympic sports, and that's why I think we all do it. Like, if we wanted to go to the Olympics, we would have done, you know, swimming or athletics or something, and that's why we rollerblade, because it's just so different, and you don't have to, like, you don't get pressured to do, like, things like that. You don't have to go in comps, but you can if you want to, and that's why I think everyone rollerblades.
Well, after qualifying first in the prelims, Blake had a tough time in the first round of the finals, but here in the second round, having a much better time of it.
Well, he put his hand down on one trick where he was supposed to and put his hand down on one where he wasn't supposed to. It's definitely going to cost him a little bit.
Right, still seems like he hasn't completely regained the form that he had in the prelims, but definitely a better run here in the second round as he transfers off the sole into the shuffle down the ledge box.
Man, he has his moments. He is so talented.
When Blake is on, he is a pleasure to watch. Unfortunately, in the finals, you have to be virtually flawless, and this mess up right here was just too much to recover from.
So 6th place is the best that Blake Dennis will do. Carlos Pianowski and Jiren Grove also having some inconsistencies, don't make it into the top spots. The rookies, Josh Obert and Brian Aragon in 3rd and 4th behind Budnick, and Ian Brown with his first win of the year.
The finals in my first run, I think I landed one trick. Then in my second run, I landed everything the way I wanted to. So I was happy with the way everything went, so it's all good.
And this is a look at some of the corn nut sick trick competition that took place just following the final. Look at this, 1260 attempt. So close.
That 1260 has never been landed before. To my knowledge, never even attempted by anyone other than Jason Sinsman. Sam Frohde transferring off the rail, and Blake Dennis going for those huge disasters into the grind. A lot of transfers going on in this contest.
Beautiful 540 acid drop right there from our street winner. But this was the trick that shocked everyone. Ben Weiss legitimately landing on his feet. Blake Dennis killing it right here. Check this out.
Blake Dennis was on fire.
Topside acid, huge disaster, and Stinsman, first ever 1260 landed on the street course. Gotta love it, making a little bit of street history. What a massive spin for Stinsman. But true guts takes it on the street course in the corn nut sick trick. One final look, Ben Weiss on the top of the bleachers, 27 feet in the air. There it is, top sole transferring back over the little bump and landing on his feet before he ran out of room. The corn nut sick trick of the week. For more information on all the sick tricks, log on to asaskate.com. So Ben Weiss walks away with a beautiful new guitar courtesy of Mars Music.
Rollerblading wasn't originally conceived as a competition sport. We began competing initially because the opportunity was there and it was a way to make money. But the more we celebrate the sport of rolling, the further we get from the ideals that made it so unique in the first place. The fun, the creativity, and the freedom. There's a lot to love about the Olympics. I love the drama, I love the excitement, I love to see people competing at the highest level. But rollerblading is more valuable as an alternative to sports than it is as just another sport. There's a lot to love about the Olympics, but I love rollerblading even more.
Hotel accommodations provided by the Crown Plaza in downtown Cincinnati, adjacent to Fountain Square. All ASA rankings and results.
We often talk about the art and the style of rollerblading, but when you get right down to it, what rollerblading really is a collection of tricks. The subjective elements, like style and creativity, while important, are not really all that unique to rollerblading. In fact, we learned to value those things initially by mimicking other action sports. But the trick vocabulary, on the other hand, is completely unique to rollerblading. The inline technology, the actual boots, frames, wheels, bearings, etc., presents certain possibilities as well as limitations, which more than any other factor will influence the way a skater can interact with their skating environment. So the trick vocabulary is what truly makes rollerblading unique.
With rollerblades attached to your feet, you have the ability to skate super fast. There are so many pros pushing the limits every day, doing veritable stunts. Skating from roof to roof, doing huge tricks like the full pipes and shuffle, disasters to grinds, and even 1260s.
Southern California is the center of the skating world. So when you hold a contest in San Diego, California, and the locals come out, really you're talking about the best skaters in the world. No one has been more influential than this cast of characters, including Josh Petty, Louis Zamora, Dustin Latimer, Brian Shima, and Dominic Sagona.
And what better place to hold an event than the San Diego County Fair with 1.1 million visitors over a 3-week period. And this year, for the first time, a big street course. more of a real street style course, though, than what you'd see at a normal ASA event.
Yeah, you don't see as many transitions here as we're accustomed to seeing on an ASA course. We got a lot of flat banks, a lot of square rails, and angle iron. This kind of course should neutralize some of the bigger stunt skaters, and what you'll see is a lot of the real street skaters and more creative style skaters excelling. Case in point, Dominic Sagona, easily one of the most creative skaters on the tour right now, showing you good lines, and of course he's got the technicality to match it. And there's one of his signature moves, showing off that creativity, and that will really help you on this kind of course.
And in the prelims, it's all about being consistent. Dominic Sagona, super consistent. Eric Shrine had a couple big moments, but his consistency was lacking, didn't make it into the final.
That's right, we're just taking a look at the prelims. Josh Obert is a rookie who's really been blazing a trail through the Pro Tour season. 360 over the box, but where he really has been making a name for himself is on the grinds, especially spinning into him. A lot of combinations coming out of the fakie 360. And of course, there's that creativity and a lot of different shuffle variations we'll see on this course.
Sean Robertson, he's more of a stunt skater. He had a little bit of trouble out here, trying the big stunts, trying to do what he does best, and just missing.
Right, it really is a tough course for stunt skating, but you still see some of these guys looking for whatever they can find, even if they have to go out of the course to get it.
His partner in crime, Ryan Dawes, came out and did some very unique tricks, but didn't make his way into the final.
Alley Fishbrain all the way around the corner. Again, Ryan Dawes, another one of these guys. He was #2 in the world at the end of last season. He did on the strength of creativity, but also going really big. Hard to find those big lines on this course.
Now here's a guy who can put together any line, anywhere. Blake Dennis, check this out.
No doubt about it. And you see right there, even when it doesn't go right, it's a mark of a truly great skater. He can make it still look good, making it up as he goes. And then backside torque, topside soul, great combo.
And that was good enough to put him in 3rd place heading into the final. Benny Huber, now here's a stunt skater. Really known more for stunts, but figuring out a way to be really creative on the course. Qualified in 1st. So Benny Huber, big surprise because of the type of course, ends out on top. If you look at the rest of the field, mostly very tech skaters. Josh Obert, Dominic Sagona, Eric Bailey, Brian Aragon, and local superstar Robert Leovanos ekes his way in.
Well, stunts is just like, you know, like stunts, doing crazy tricks. And technical skating is just like little grinds, a lot of different kind of things with your feet.
When we come back, we're getting ready on the street with the final. Don't go anywhere. The ASA Pro Tour on ESPN is brought to you by the Taz Attitour, presented by Warner Brothers, bringing the attitude of Taz and all the Looney Tunes to the world of action sports. Visit TazTour.com for all the latest tour information. By Yoo-Hoo Chocolate Drink. Side effects may include happiness and refreshment. And by Kung Pao. Own the DVD or rent it today.
1, 2, 3, go.
Welcome back to the ASA Pro Tour and the San Diego County Fair, where there is tons to do. Over 1 million people came this year over 3 weeks, and the theme, Elvis, dropping out of planes, cruising around the entire fairgrounds, and putting on hundreds of shows. And what better place to walk away with lots of free product than in the ASA Expo area. So it's time for the final. Each skater's going to get 2 65-second runs, and only the better run in the final counts.
We cannot emphasize enough how much of a factor the layout of this course will be in this contest. The fact that it's got so many flat banks, it's a smaller design, it creates unique opportunities for some of these creative technical skaters like Robert Leovanos out of San Diego, switching up from the shuffle into the soul and then mixing it up off the step onto the ledge box. Stefano Fano is a hot shot in his rookie season. One of this new breed of skaters who can mix up the huge tricks like the 900 and the 720 transfer, but he's also got the grinds, forward porn star to backslide.
How to skate the course and like have a couple different lines and then try to, you know, just link it all together. It's usually not all that hard. If I can, I try to put together, you know, enough lines so that I don't have to do the same run twice.
Aaron Feinberg, the veteran, doing super well with a well-thought-out line.
I like spinning a lot to grinds and doing a bunch of switch-ups with them, so it's probably my favorite trick.
The tricks become really important on a course like this, and a technical skater like Josh Ober can do very well for himself, as can Eric Bailey out of Boise, Idaho.
Yeah, Eric skated the course with tons of speed there with a nice Farfignugan, and here, topsoil all the way around the corner.
Well, it's sickening how technical this kid is, and there's a brand new trick. That's a pud slide. That's the trick that's becoming very popular.
Now, Jiren Grove likes the big transition. Here, only one big launch box. He took advantage of that, but then had some trouble because everything else was much smaller.
Looked like he was trying to work out his line, trying to figure out a way around the course, and it just never came all together. But even there, showing off some of the technicality, doing one of Dominic's signature moves.
So many good tricks out here in the course. You want to learn about tricks? Now's your chance. Ryan and Sean are going to school you.
These girls are too tall for me, so I'm going to stand on the curb, do my intro. Y'all stand down here. All right, this is Ryan Doss, and we are in San Diego, I think? Del Mar, California. And we're doing a Trictionary. What's your name?
Alicia. Raina.
My girlfriend's name was Alicia. Hey, baby, how you doing? I need backup. Sean's rolling over. He's my backup. Is it?
Have you ever heard of a backside Farfignugan disaster 540 out?
No.
That's what it is. Do you have any idea what a switch sole is?
No.
Can you get in that stance right there?
Yeah.
Now put that foot in front of this one. It was sideways. Bring it a little more. To be little bitty.
I'm not dancing to the little bitty with you. I hear it all day. I've had enough of that song.
Do you know what a disaster royale is by any chance?
No.
Disaster royale is where you're actually in the air for a few seconds or, just a little bit before you actually land on the grind. Okay, do you remember the trick I just taught you?
No.
I'm not a very good teacher.
Here, piggy, piggy, piggy.
You guys are doing that to try to pick up on chicks.
Yeehaw! Do you know any trick names?
Shuffle.
Shuffle.
This is Ryan Doss.
And Sean Robertson.
And basically, no one has any idea what rollerblading tricks are, but we do so.
We're out of here.
Peace.
Well, rollerblading is coming of age because now the new acclaimed video game, Aggressive Inline, is finally out. Featuring Jiren Grove, Ty Chris Edwards, Shane Yost, Eito Yasutoko, Sam Fogarty, and all your favorite pros. And voted in many of the video game magazines as the best new action sports engine.
Has a really big element of fun, and it's really cool. It's really cool to play.
I think it's going to do really well for the sport.
Aggressive Inline is my claim to fame.
Well, in the arcade-style game, you can do supernatural tricks. And this guy, Dominic Sagona, he's got a few of his own.
These rollerblading video games are great, and they work real closely with the skaters, and they put all the tricks in there. But then you see a guy like Dominic who seems to make up tricks every time he skates, so there's no way that these video games can keep up with Dominic. When you watch him, you truly are watching something unique. Exactly what I'm talking about, and it also makes our job very difficult. It's hard to call these tricks. A lot of them we're seeing for the first time. He had a 540 with kind of a shuffle and missing the alley-oop sole or the soyal, and there's a dom slide, backslide. So many of these tricks are completely innovative, and Dom comes up with them himself, and you can tell just by looking at him with one shirt, half on, different colored skates. I mean, this kid is all about being unique. Abstract 540, and his style is so great. There's a fast slide variation of that Dom slide. And even when he lands his tricks and the way he skates, how he looks kind of out of control, I mean, all that becomes part of his style, and it's just so cool. This is why everyone's so hot on Dominic right now.
Making it look so easy, spinning 270 and then locking on sole.
Well, when you see a guy that's like this hellbent on being unique, it's like they run the risk where they could almost become sort of like a clown, and you could write them off as a novelty. But there's something that's so credible about his style and the way that he skates that he pulls it off. True spin, alley topside sole. And he's having a great run, and he's showing off a lot of those tricks. And here's that one that gave us trouble. He goes like 270 into the shuffle backslide, and then spins 270 out. And there's his signature move, the Dom slide, doing the fast slide variation of it.
81.25 puts Dominic in first.
Just can't say enough about him. Very creative skater, and that is the spirit of rollerblading.
So after one run, the true street skater ripping it up, sitting on top.
Everything the same is brain thoughts of explain this, how important changes and damaging it could potentially be. I definitely see some type of consciousness to a degree, but have yet to see any action relevant to revolutionize psychic contraption. See the fractured disaster happen behind closed doors. The earth is shedding its epidermis and needed some service, malnourished, and I work my hands, letting seeds more flourish. Planting seeds sprout to full-blown organisms.
The progression of tricks in rollerblading has been guided over the years by skaters with vision. You can divide this elite group of skaters into two subgroups. In one group, you'll have skaters who can create something from nothing. Skaters like John Julio, Chris Edwards, and Dominic Sigona. Skaters who have vision to see possibilities where there were none before. And in the other group, you've got skaters who can perform existing tricks in new and unexpected ways. Skaters like Dustin Latimer, Brian Shima, and Aaron Feinberg. It's through the combined effort of these two groups, and thanks to the spirit of innovation that they possess, that rollerblading's trick vocabulary is able to grow.
I think some people that innovate the sport, we always say Julio. Like, he'll do one thing, then the next video people will be doing what he did. Then the next competition, the next video, they'll be doing what he did in the next one. Blake Dennis, he does a lot of cool stuff, especially on a street course and skate parks.
So we're back with round number 2 here on the street course. Up next, Blake Dennis.
My favorite trick at the moment would probably be shuffles, like set slides when you slide on the wood.
Well, with Dominic Sigona sitting in first place with creative moves, now the big guns are coming out trying to unseat him. Unfortunately, Blake Dennis had some great tricks, but unlike in the prelims, he was unable to keep it all together.
Hey, I'm Benny Huber, and I'm gonna speak Jiren's run like the monster, and because he's gonna rip the shit up, and I'm gonna skate later on. Come on, Jiren!
Well, we'll help him out a little bit. Jiren Grove trying some stunts on the course. Check this out. Up top, 540 off. That was pretty much the highlight of his run, however.
Yeah, a lot of filler tricks padded around that highlighted feature. Wasn't enough to do it. And now here's your number 1 qualifier out of the prelims, Benny Huber, also having trouble. So all these top contenders having a lot of trouble here in the finals.
Soul grind to a Royale. Nice transfer there, but too little too late in the first round.
Hey, I'm Fabiola. That was Benny Huber.
Here we're going to take another look at the creative skating of Robert Liavano, San Diego's very own. Watch how he starts out shuffle into the dark side soul, and then look at how he transfers off the soul grind into the Macchio.
Technology has become an intricate part of the inline skate industry.
Having just the technology that these computers bring around now is it just goes hand in hand with skating.
I'm just learning how to edit little stuff, like learn how to make little videos and clips, but that's why I got the Mac one.
G4 Macintosh titanium lap book.
That computer is the most incredible machine ever invented. We just videotape ourselves and make videos.
Many pros edit their latest videos on iMovie and Final Cut Pro because these edit systems can run on the portable PowerBooks. Some videographers use the more advanced Macintosh system at home, the Media 100.
I do graphic design for a lot of the companies in rollerblading. When I'm not working, I'm checking message boards or checking out websites.
Macintosh is at the helm of guiding athletes, videographers, event crews, and ASA judges in progressing the sport of rollerblading.
Being able to communicate with the world and see things that are right there, you know, everything's at the touch of your hand.
So back on the street course, some very, very talented skaters up. Aaron Feinberg, this guy has won the World Championships and the X Games.
Aaron is just an electric skater. Anytime he shows up on a street course, it changes the session. Topside soul. In fact, all the other pro skaters watch him when he's practicing to see how to put together a line.
A big 720 there.
And now here's one of the rookies who's watching Aaron Feinberg, but he's got his own style, and it's mostly technical difficulty. Spinning out of fakie into a lot of his tricks, a lot of technical grind tricks. And there's a fakie 720 attempt into the shuffle. This is Josh Oberg. And he's got a bright future ahead of him. Talking about bright futures, how about Stefano Alfano?
This kid is amazing. He skates so fast and goes super big, but they're showing off some technical ability.
Well, he did it fast and big. All these technical grinds are coming out huge spins. 540 into the true spin alley topside sole attempt. So all these skaters showing us different things that you can do on your skates that are completely unique to inline skating. From the shuffles to the spins and airs to grinds to these combos, starting out torque and fast slide. And then look at this backside Farfanugan transfer into the bank.
So things are starting to get heated up here on the street course. If you want to check out more skating on the tour, Milwaukee, Vert and Street airs October 2nd. Go to asaskate.com for all the airtime. Final runs here in the street when we come back. The ASA Pro Tour on ESPN has been brought to you by Corn Nuts, corn gone wrong, by Acclaim's Aggressive Inline, now available on the PlayStation 2 computer entertainment system rated T for Teen, and by The Adventures of Pluto Nash, brought to you by Warner Brothers Pictures.
When you look around the action sports landscape, you can see that it's punctuated by moments where a single trick has defined an entire sport. There's no doubting the impact that Tony Hawk's 900 has had on skateboarding, or Matt Hoffman's backflip on BMX. And when you look at rollerblading with its 1260s and its double backflips and its ever-expanding list of grinds, you can't help but wonder what tricks are yet to come and what we will look back on as our defining moments.
Well, I think rollerblading is going to go a lot bigger than it is now. I think some of the progressive sport are definitely Jiren Grove, Benny Huber. They want to do the biggest tricks they can. They want to go as high as possible and do as many spins as possible. Those are the guys that are out there really pushing the sport to the limits.
When it first started, it was like Chris Edwards and Arlo Eisenberg was motivating and doing all that stuff. And then nowadays, it's just tons of people. Even all the AMs starting to push stuff, innovating. It's just like, I don't know, I don't really think of a certain person when I think about it.
Jiren Grove inspires me a lot, and Dominic Sagona and Aaron Feinberg, they have different styles that I like that inspire me to do different things on that. So probably those three are the top that inspire me the most.
You're starting to hear Dominic Sagona's name very often mentioned by other pros as one of the most respected for his unique style. He sits in first here at the San Diego County Fair, and he's hoping with this run to extend his lead.
So much fun to watch, and you can see here in the second round, already off to a better start than the first round. He missed that trick, the alley-oop sole, and here in the second round getting a fakie 360 out of it. So if he can increase his lead here.
Now, it ain't gonna happen. With a fall like that, he's pretty much got to throw this run away because that took a lot longer than the bobble in the first round. So Dominic leaves the door wide open with only one skater to go, and it's a rookie.
Right now we're about to watch Brian Aragon rip up the course. He's got a real nice full run, lots of tricks. Check it out.
Brian Aragon.
He's coming down the launch box. Nice big 900. Cruising up to the right corner of the course, bringing it down to the box. Big 540 transfer.
Big and floaty.
Nice 270 backslide, set slide, 270 in.
270 out.
Doing really good to get off this box right here. Here he comes. Backside rail around the corner, gapping in. He's got a real good solid run. It's looking nice. Nice backside rail transfer. 540 in, looking good. Brian's got a really full run. Skating really well right here.
That's exactly what you have to do.
That's what the judges like to see. Skating really good. Really full, lots of tricks, as you can see.
Fakie 720 over the box.
He's clearing the ledge box. Looks like he wants to do a nice big trick on the ledge box. Coming across. That's about time. Thanks to Dominic Sagona, commentator.
All right, clearly Brian is a comfortable park skater. 900 starting out his run. Not too many skaters can do that. And then here he is kind of getting Dominic Sagona-like, but actually just stepping around.
Just falling short. At 80 in his second run, he'll keep his first run score of 81, and that means he takes second. Dominic Sagona, who called Brian's run, sits on top. And a bit of a surprise, Blake Dennis and Jiren Grove, two guys you normally see in the top 5, in 8th and 9th.
All right, so first of all, Dominic, what's the name of that trick that you're doing? I started calling it the Dom slide today, where you're like doing the fast slide and the backslide shuffles.
I don't know if you could really name it. There's a lot of tricks you're doing now you can't really name. It's just whatever. Just freestyle skating.
All right, I'm going to keep calling it Dom slide because if we don't name him, then I'm out of a job, or it makes my job a lot more difficult. Right. But so you have been known as someone who innovates and comes up with a lot of new tricks. You've got your own style. Does this kind of vindicate your style of skating to come out and win a contest doing a lot of innovative stuff?
I don't know. I'm just trying to come out here and just kind of show everyone there's a different style of skating, you know, completely different aspect, not like this, but like that. And just try and bring something new, actually contribute to the sport and not just be, you know, another skater doing a handrail every day and it's just too monotonous. Bring something new, you know?
Well, you're definitely not just another skater. Congratulations, Dominic, street champion.
The epitome of non-monotonous. The corn nut sick trick. It happens after every street competition and every vert competition. The corn nut sick trick champion this time around goes to Pat Lennon with the crazy backflip up and over the fence, throwing it all on the line. And you can go to asaskate.com and check out all the corn nut sick tricks and vote for your favorite. Hotel accommodations provided by the Doubletree San Diego Del Mar. Relax, you're among friends at the Doubletree San Diego Del Mar. All rankings and scoring courtesy of Macintosh. Not only does he take home the win, but this week Dominic Sagona wins the Adventures of Pluto Nash Innovation of the Week with the Dom Slide. Special thanks to the staff at the San Diego County Fair. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.